Hey guys, this is Mycket with the latest version here of live attacks. Just going to try a few live attacks, see what they throw at me. I've actually been in the arena lately, so quite a bit, so my trophies, honor trophies pushed up quite a bit. So we'll see what we get here when I go back to multiplayer. Haven't done this in a little while. So just taking a look at what do they give us? Alright, so looking at, first of all, an SH-12, this shouldn't be too bad if I do it right. A couple ways you can attack this. Obviously, you can go around taking it from, I think the best way to do it would be either from the left or the right. Personally, I don't like to meet the combination of a freeze tower and either the flame bolt or the curse touch. I don't like to meet them at the same time. I'd rather take either these on with like Brander or Zalonia, or take on the freeze tower with Forveil. Of course, with them all being closer to the SH, one of the tricks is, of course, as you get in close, that you might end up having your troops. So if you come in from the left over on this side, you might get flash frozen just as you get in close. So you can think about whether you want to bring some archers. I like to do that, especially at this level. It turns out to be work out pretty nicely. The other possibility is to go from the other side. I think I'd rather take the chances going against these straight up and get a little frozen on the others when I get close, then try and go the other way and get through this easily, but then I might get fried by those guys. So I'm going to take Brander here, go over, hop over, and Brander. This tends to be one of my favorite ones. Another way you could take this, I believe, is with Siku. I don't have Siku, but that would be a good way to do it, to be able to dispel some of those things. Aegis might be another possibility to go into there, probably from the right. And just get frozen a few times. Taking a look at what we have here of how we're going to funnel these troops, not going to be the easiest funnel, but I don't think I'm right up against the edge there, so I should be able to take out some of those buildings. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go with what I have right now here in the setup with the troops, and I'm going to try and sneak this in here and not get shot. Looking pretty good so far. Okay, let's speed this up a little bit. They've changed the fast forward button to a different spot here, given a few cosmetic looks. There are going to be some bigger changes coming pretty soon, but they haven't all come out. Next couple days they'll be out here. Okay, this is probably good enough here that I can start doing some of the funnel, especially if I let that one building fall there. Don't want to let too many of my guys stray. Now, of course, the key with watching these guys is watching those spell towers and making sure about the time, because with Brander, it is you have to proceed when they hit them. So I'm watching that, and then I drop that spell there. And I have about 10 seconds here, and I'm going to try and count while I'm talking here, which is not necessarily always the best thing. And I'm going to try and make sure I don't get smacked there. They should be able to eat through this here before the next 10 seconds goes off. So then what I'm looking to is now I'm looking to the second ability. Personally, I think the third ability of Brander is a total waste. I never use it, but the first two abilities are so good that you can get to them quickly, and it turns out real well. So now I am going to have some flash freeze problems here, but I've got a couple passes over here with the dragon. I'm going to do it again. There's just not enough defenses left for them to be able to give me much of a fight here. So I'm going to fast forward through this because it's all over. Looks good. All right. So let's go on and see the next attack. Drop that right on that dragon there. That's super helpful. I've seen it be helpful once or twice, to be honest, that last ability, once or twice when you're talking about trying to snipe a town hall. It can be helpful in some cases that way, but then you've got to have enough hit points that you aren't worried about losing your dragon there too. Okay, going to go in for another live attack here. See what we get this time. Now you find as you go through here, you find that you tend to use some of the same ancients over and over. depending on the setups. One of the favorite setups that people have, at least I've noticed a lot at SH12 and so forth, is this Curse Tower and Flame Bolt, which is devastating if you come in with like a 4-veil or something else, because this one keeps your paladins from healing, and this one does some massive damage very quickly. It can be tough to deal with, and that's why I've used Brander very effectively. As I said, other people have used other things. Siku is another one that can dispel those things, and Aegis. The one trick that you're going to have on this one is trying to get into that without running out of times that you can be able to use this Black Flame shield. So once again, I'm going to bring an archer here just to be able to kind of eat into the middle a little bit more. And I think the way that I'll approach this one is, because I see some of the mana out on the outside here, and I want to be able to get a second version of that, because I'm going to get hit very early on with this, is what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in from this right side and use that Black Flame shield early enough. I'll come in probably down here, use it early enough, but not be hit by other things early on, and be able to take this out, give myself a little time to be able to work up a little bit more mana. So that's what I'm going to do. I have this one outbuilding out here, and that's good to know in case I need to throw, and actually this one is available up there. Ooh, that might be a nice place to hit too, because that one is inactive right now. I don't like it though. I'm going the way of my original plan. But it's nice to know I have a couple places I can dump my dragon if I need to. In fact, because of the location of this, I might actually just put my dragon up there to begin with. I might put Viscari, let her start working away with that, and then I'm going to put all these guys down. Another thing that's kind of tricky here, and the reason why I sometimes start them back a little farther, is you've got to get them all down there so that you can put the Black Flame shield on them, because you have to precede that Curse Tower. So I'm watching, waiting for that Curse Tower, seeing when it's going to shoot. There it goes. Just drop that, and protects everybody there. And I have about 10 seconds. And now I've been able to work up enough mana here that I can do it again. I should be able to take one more hit. And now I've got to go ahead and drop. And I got to decide between my guys. I'm going to go up here. In theory, if that Curse Tower on the bottom side shoots at them, I could be able to protect them too. So I think I will. And then protect these. Now I'm going to bring my dragon across here. She's really not doing too much there. So as I work my way around here, I'm just kind of keeping these guys protected. They're getting shot at, but Viscari is working the middle here. And you notice these archers down here did exactly what I wanted them to. I wanted them to try and work that middle a little bit while everybody else was wandering around. I probably just missed protection on one of those. It looks like maybe that I missed on the Flame Bolt or something, so they really got smacked. But it's not much left they can do. All right, so this turns out to be a Brander episode instead of just live attacks. Well, it is live attacks too. Anyways, a couple attacks there. Give you an idea of what you can do with live attacks. As I start to get some of the other ancients leveled up and a little bit more available, I will work on trying to mix them in the mix a little bit. The difficulty I have is that my being in the arena has been great, but it pushes your trophies up high enough that you end up getting some pretty tough opponents. And so you've got to work with what you got. So in other words, if I take a look at where I'm at with my ancients, which is not as high as some people, but I will just take a quick look at that. If I look at my ancients, some of these guys, I don't like looking at it this way. I'll look at it the other way. I like looking at it this way. I don't know why. Creature of habit. Some of these guys, you can see I don't have them leveled up real high. So if you go in there and you try and, let's say you tried to go in there and attack somebody with a, I don't know, Ilani. I've used her a few times. I have 12 wins with her, but it's only for certain kinds of bases. But my problem if I use her is that right now I think I get 0 starting mana if I'm correct on that. I have 0 starting, so I can't really get to the abilities very quickly. So the difficulty is when you're leveled up and you're getting all the things and you're trying to get higher. There's a point in time you want to try and double back and get some of those guys. And be able to level them up as well and get used to how to use them. I will say that if you go through your log, you'll see that you get attacked pretty much by about 6 or 7 of the ancients, and there's some ancients that rarely get used because they just don't have that same sort of combination of power. You either need to have an ancient that has early on abilities that can protect them, or one that has some devastating higher 2 and 3rd level abilities. So anyways, so there are some live attacks for today and some additional random comment on the end there. Hope that you like this. Again, this is Mycket with One Kingdom. Make sure that you like and subscribe and keep ahead of your rivals.